To be frank, the industry is man-made. And because it is man-made, it is governed by men. My life and how I see music is I allow it to be governed by God. So if they give me 20 minutes and the people came wanting to hear 6 songs, but God told me that the people needed 2 songs. You see, needs are more important than wants. And people suffer because of their wants and not filling their needs. People suffer because they don't desire what they need, and there's a stronger desire for what they want. What you want is soulish, but what you need is really spirit, and you are spirit. So in essence, my number one goal going to any event is to please God. Number one. Right? And so number 2 is to meet the needs of the people that God shows me. So I might meet your needs and leave you upset because of what you wanted. But in the long run, when you reach home and you meditate on it, you realize that I was so mad at Rondell Positive, but this guy told me exactly what I needed to hear. Yeah. I started in this music based on a young man that was shot in Mandeville. So I was a teacher and I was teaching 10-year-old kids. A 10-year-old kid was killed in Mandeville. I went to school talking to my kids about it. And that's where I got my first song. So it just popped. Peace, Love and Unity. And so remember sending that song to Elise Kelly. And then I think I sent my second song to Elise Kelly. And she was playing it and she said, this teacher man from St. Thomas, him just so positive. And so that's where I was using my original name. And so I shifted my name to Positive. And then I found out that there was a gospel artist in Trinidad named Positive. And at the same time, The Angel and a girl named Angel were in dispute over the name Angel. And so I said, instead of going in a dispute over the name Positive, I would just name myself Rondell Positive. So that's how the name Rondell Positive came about. Oh, I see a great awakening, great awakening. Oh, I see a great awakening. So the chorus the chorus of the song is really based on the rhythm, that the name of the rhythm, because I got a rhythm from a producer in Trinidad, Judah Peters, and it's called Awakening or The Awakening. Never knew anything about the beat, was just listening to the beat rather, and the download came. Based on the name, the melody came, and the words came, you know. But that was triggered, I believe, by the name of the beat. Oh, I see generations of the righteous being blessed, and I see nations hungry, thirsting after righteousness. The blind no longer led, the poor no longer fed, the land's re-inherited. Just like David said, and I see beauty for ashes and joy for those who mourn. Fire restored as if the veil has just been torn. Barren lands becoming fruitful as the people stand for more. Living sacrifice required, restored forevermore. Understanding the first verse of the song, as I say, I never got an inspiration. I got a download. And it's after the song was completed, then I started seeing what was happening, that it was a prophetic word that reflected. It is threefold. The song is threefold. So firstly, this Great Awakening spoke about what we're seeing with Gen Z worldwide, where there's a 40% growth in church attendance. There's a 40% growth in young people wanting to know more about God. So that's one. Secondly, the moves happening in Africa, which is a more political thing, where you're talking about Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso and Ghana and African nations, people being awakened to the truth and the fact that they have the resources that they need in their countries to really run their countries and to be prosperous. So that was the second, the political aspect of it. And then there was a personal great awakening. So when we say, I see the generations of the righteous being blessed, it was talking about those things. And it was also talking about Rondell Positive individually. It's the Great Awakening was personal for me. Never saw it, but afterwards the revelation started coming. The Great Awakening was that I was away from the music. People would not know that I was away from the music, but I was away from the music for about 3 years with my daughters entering university and my family. So I was away with family, and we had to take care of that. And then this Great Awakening was to say, hey, time to go. And I see Joshua generation, day and night they meditate. Oh, this is Jacob, this generation seeks your face, ascending higher heights, encountering greater grace, clean hands and pure in heart, as we mount this holy place. And I see millions on their knees as nations fast and pray, prostrate before the King of Kings, continued night and day. We enter just like Jesus, full of truth, loaded with grace, can do nothing without you, Father, so that's why we seek your face. Oh. Verse 2 is similar to reclaiming, but it is about how the reclaiming is happening. That there is this great spiritual awakening, and there's this great hunger for the presence of God, and there's this hunger to carry the presence of God, not just to get into the presence, but a hunger for a generation, the hunger that a generation is depicting and is showing. So when we say the Joshua generation that meditates day and night, why? Because God gave that secret. God say, this is how you will make your way prosperous. So you see, it's a verse that is saying the prosperity that they sold to us is not the real prosperity. How do you make your way prosperous and have good success? Because they say that we need to be successful, but that's not what God said. He said you will have good success. So it's not just success, And so this is what this verse is about. It is how it is done. It say, what do we see? Millions on their knees all over the world. I was in London recently, and people are hungry for God. Young people who according to people should be elsewhere. They want to know God, they want. And so when the last part of the verse say, we enter just like Jesus, we possess the same spirit that Jesus was carrying. And so it is saying, we enter just like Jesus. We were so hungry, and now we get it. So our operation is just like Jesus, full of truth, loaded with grace. One of the secrets is that I recognize that there's a system that is greater than any industry on earth. And I lock myself into that system. It's a system that is unseen, and everything that is seen comes from the unseen. So if I get locked into the unseen system, what will happen is that the unseen system will cause even things that are seen that don't want to move on my behalf. Yeah. So I've never tried to keep myself relevant. The Bible is the most relevant book on earth. It is the number one sold book for so long. Good. So watch this. So if I write or if I allow myself to be open to the Spirit that wrote the Bible to write through me, then whatever comes out of it must last forever. So Rondell Positive music is eternal. And I don't say that with pride. I say it because I have what is called ginosko. It is a revelational knowledge of this thing, that this thing is so real that nothing can destroy it.